News for the Oscars. Nielsen says the ratings for the 90th Annual Academy Awards hit an all-time low of 26.5 million people, down 20% from the previous year, and the only time there have been fewer than 30 million viewers, and that was since 1974 when Nielsen started tracking the show. And even just a couple of years ago, it was 2014, those numbers were almost double. They were in the 40-something million. So it's pretty remarkable, and part of the reason, because people are looking at this as and they're saying, okay, well, what went wrong? How can we fix it to get more viewers? They're saying a lot of this is just people weren't watching these movies.
I think people weren't watching these movies. It is expensive to go to the movies these days. Whereas the also the Grammy Award show, how much fun was that show? It's great every year. This is sort of, it's not a great show.
Well, and I kind of wonder, is it the movies that are being presented and featured at the Oscars? Are people going to those movies, or have people maybe not even heard of them and not excited about them? I mean, why not have, you know, a Star Wars The Last Jedi be featured somehow at the Oscars? I think people would really tune in for that, or even some of the other big blockbusters too. I think the #1 most watched Oscars was the Titanic.
Yeah,
that's a huge, big blockbuster, right?
It's a double-edged sword, Jason, because you have people who are saying, well, we're not just going to give these awards or nominations just to get viewership, but at the same time, if people aren't watching the Academy Awards, you might not have it in 10, 20 years.
Well, the truth is, like, the Hollywood definition of what high quality is often not in line with, I think, what maybe a shifting idea of what a quality movie might be.
Or quality entertainment.
You don't see comedies nominated almost ever, and we all love to go see comedies. Right. And why can't these shows these movies be nominated for excellence just because it's not about some sort of horrific tragedy, which is usually what ends up nominated or winning.
Well, and I mean, The Shape of Water, who won this year, it was a weird movie. It was really odd. Well done. I'll give it to you.
So what do you do to fix it? Maybe blockbusters.
What do you hear people talking about or gushing about, saying, oh, Kim, gosh, that show was so great? It's usually something on Netflix. I mean, I think that's what people get excited about.
Well, that and CBS primetime programming.
And that's CBS primetime, yes, of course, yes.
I think it'd be great if they maybe wanted to change up the host a little bit. Like if you had somebody a little bit more edgy, like a Jason DeRusha, I think they're really
It's so hard now because, you know, it's become pretty political, and I know, Kim, that could be part of the reason why people maybe aren't watching as much.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, if you watch a lot of these award shows, the presenters are oftentimes taking jabs at the president, and the fact is that there are a lot of people in this country who support the president and who like what President Trump is doing, and that can really turn a lot of people off.
Speaking of the president, of course, he had something to say about it. He said, lowest rated Oscars in history. Problem is we don't have stars anymore, except your president. Just kidding, of course. You know, there's something to be said for that. We don't have a lot of giant names at the Oscars. Not to say that, you know, President Trump starring in a movie would bring out the giant names, but
he's been in movies.
There you go.
But Home Alone 3 or something like that, wasn't he in that movie?
Yes. If they want more people to watch, you do need bigger Hollywood stars, and you do need bigger movies, and it doesn't need to be 3 hours and so boring.
No, you can
have
cut
some
it
fun.
way down. Get rid of the little awards that, sorry, I know they're important, that the mainstream viewers don't care about.
Yes.
Sorry.
Typical on-air person saying it should only be the stars. What about sound design?
You hate saying it, but you don't like watching.
What about weather graphics? How about outstanding achievement?